really grateful that I have this opportunity to address global leaders here, the senior leadership here. But before we get into Prohance, just wanted to share a little bit background about who we are as an organization, how has been our journey. So as was mentioned, started this organization, launched this startup in 2009 with my co-founder Kishore, and it's been now 14 years. And I remember we were just 5 employees, out of which there were 2 were trainee girls for whom it was their first job. So from there till today, we have a team strength of around 140 people, having in addition to Bangalore, which is our main development center, the head office, now people and offices in Gurgaon, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Pune, and now Philippines, and recently we added a 4-member sales team in US. So it's been a great journey from there on. And during this period, we found a lot of, as we grew, a lot of our industry connects joined us and they helped us in our journey as we moved ahead. And we've seen many of our senior leadership has been built from our customer connects. So there were people who helped us roll out Prohance initially, but they found that there was something good, something meaningful and impactful we were doing. And many of our leaders have joined from there and they became part of our organization. So when we started this organization initially, we had a very simple goal or a vision we put in front of us. Both of us said we'll build a world-class software product out of India. And over the years, as we became a little bit business savvy, we modified the goal to being one of the fastest and profitable SaaS business out of India. For us, profitability is a very important part, which we found in a lot of the business which has been launched recently is forgotten. So, as our product grew, we were also fortunate to be part of the initial startup ecosystem in India. As you know, there's been a lot of emphasis on having this startup ecosystem in India, and the results of those are now visible to us. India has, I believe, the 3rd largest startups in the entire world. And we are also a product of that ecosystem. I remember in the year 2010, there's a body called NASSCOM in India, and out of 6,000 applications, they selected the top 10 what they believed were promising startups, and we happened to be part of that. As a result of that, got an opportunity to be mentored by some very senior leaders from the IT industry. So that's how our beginning has been there. Also, while we've seen the COVID years, last 3 years, a very different phase has been there. But Prohance has been there right from the years 2011 where we, as a fully market-ready product, when we started 2009, we created initial 3-4 products. We got critical acclaim for some products, got awarded. But there were certain products which people said they looked good on paper, got awarded, but the business did not come. But somewhere Prohance is one where we started getting initial marquee customers. And few years we just focused on getting 10 to 15 strategic customers who would testify to our product, who would say that they are getting value from it. But now, over the years, we've seen that, and many of these customers, they still continue to be with us for the past 10 to 12 years. While COVID is a recent phenomenon, and there has always been a need for employee productivity, employee efficiency, even earlier. Only thing what happened is with COVID, it became even more critical. So with COVID, what we saw is it just made solutions and technology like Prohance more acceptable. Somewhere earlier, looking at employee productivity, tracking them, was looked upon as if it's good to have. But that changed suddenly overnight to a technology which is must to have. COVID has been a inflection point in the history of modern workforce, once in a lifetime event. While COVID overnight changed the way work was delivered, organizations had to move their work from secure and the safe environment of their office to work to the homes of employees. And while this was a difficult job, there were apprehensions that how this would be done. But I would say during this period, not only did organizations manage to stay afloat, they in a way excelled and they progressed. But now what we have seen is while taking work and employees from office to home was a big challenge, we are seeing them getting them back to offices proving to be a even bigger challenge. The other fact which we are seeing is that employee productivity is not keeping pace with time. Over time, we are seeing the productivity levels of employees are decreasing. The growth in the revenue per employee is showing a downward decreasing trend. The work complexities are increasing, and the easier and the standard work is getting automated. The work is becoming complex while productivity levels are decreasing. The other force which people thought would impact work is automation. There was a feeling that once automation comes in, a lot of dependency on your employees, on people would get reduced. But we've seen this is proven to be far from the truth. While simpler and easier jobs are getting automated, the need for people, need for human beings is proving to be even more there. The number of employee count is still continuing to grow. Automation has not impacted your employee counts, which was thought to be there. So the fact that whatever technical innovations come in the future, whatever progress is made, still the need for our employees is going to be there. And employee cost is one of the biggest factors in any delivery or any operation. Another thing is the hybrid model. We all know this is here to stay. We were 100% working from office company. We would want our employees to come 9:30 in the morning, work all days of week from the office. We reached a stage where our customer-facing teams, they hardly come maybe once or twice in office, and we are not looking to change. I don't think anybody is looking to change the way things are working. I have gone to many customer places, customer offices. You go to tech parks in Bangalore, you always feel as if you've come on a weekend or a holiday. That's the feeling which we get. So the hybrid working, getting people back to office, like I said, while taking them to home was a good challenge. Now I don't think we'll be able to, in the foreseeable future, be able to bring them back to office. So the surveys which have been done, and I'm sure you all must be aware of it in your organizations, you must be seeing it around yourself. Most of the organizations are not even planning to have their workforce back in office all the 5 days. Remote work is there. Even in the hybrid, at most we'll have people coming back maybe twice a week or 3 days in a week. What I'm trying to say is that we need to now gear up for this, the working model or the work environment which is there in front of us, and the need for the tools and technologies is only going to grow. It was mentioned earlier that they use certain tools in the last 3 years. Sadly, Prohance is missing from them. I'm sure if they had, they would have been able to do a good job. But we can look forward to adding that also as we move forward. So now let me come to what Prohance is about and how it came to. So the way initially Prohance came, there were two basic thoughts when we started in the year 2010 and 11. One was when we were team leads and team managers, it was always a little bit of a struggle to get to know a reality, what's happening in your teams, how much work has been ready, what is the progress of your project, where have you reached. Also, it was a feedback that when team managers are in front of their teams in office, the team members behave in a different manner, they work in a different manner. But if you are away from your office, then the team works in a different manner. So how would you come to a stage where you really know what's happening, what's the truth happening with your work, with your teams? Second part was, We found that in the contact center, on the voice center, you have tools and technologies available which give you an entire insight on what really is happening. Obviously, the work there is simple, complex, homogeneous, but the back office part, or wherever you have people working on their systems, where they have to put in at least a significant amount of day working on their systems, and where the work is not homogeneous, each process is different. Within a team, you find there are 5 different ways of working. There was no such tool available which could give you an insight on what really is happening. Very much equivalent to the voice part, where you have complete visibility. You get metrics like how many calls made, what is the hold time, quality of the call. But on the back office side, there was nothing equivalent of it available, even though the complexity and the structured or the unstructured part of the work was even much more. So with these two thoughts is where we started Prohance. And Prohance actually comes from the word, 2 words, that is productivity enhancement. So Prohance, that's how we created this word for our product. So idea was, how can we bring about visibility? First level is visibility, and then build on top of that and bring about effectiveness, efficiency, utilization, and things like that. The idea was to bring about that visibility into an area where more complexity of work existed. There was no standardization. Could we bring a structure equivalent to what is available in the contact center? So over the years, this is a reality. This is what we have been able to deliver to our customers. There are plenty of testimonials, case studies, and customer references available to show that once you start utilizing technology like Prohance, all this is possible. This is already told, but Prohance last 3 years have been really good. While we had good growth even earlier to that, but the recent COVID story has, in a way, like I told you, changed the perception, the need for something to have to know what's really going on with my environment, with my workforce. So we've been really able to now make Prohance spread over the globe, while primarily the user count is based in 3 countries, which is India, Philippines, and US. But we are seeing recently, this year we've done deployments in countries like Ethiopia, Costa Rica, Jamaica. So gradually the need for technology and tools like this is spreading to the entire world. Just some of the customers maybe you would know many of these, and I'm sure some of you here would have experienced Prohance either in your current organization or maybe your earlier one. So now coming to Prohance, other thing which we designed or about Prohance is as a platform. So while productivity has many angles, we try to cover each one of them from different angles. The first and the simplest one is the time, the effort which you put in. How do you track automatically how much time people are spending there? And that's the easiest part, and that's the module utilized by all. Having said that, having done the easier part, having got the hygiene which we call, are your employees aligned to your organizational norms? Are they giving you that expected 6.5 or 7 hours of productive time every day? How much are they engaged? Who are the people who are putting in more effort? Who are the people putting less effort? The next stage comes to is, what is the output they're getting? Because even after putting the right effort, you may not be able to give the necessary output. So then we brought in the next angle is, understand how much output people are coming, and marry the two and try and see who are the people who are able to do more work in less time, some people doing less work in more time, and devise your strategies accordingly. If somebody is putting in more effort but not able to give you, that means there's a skill issue, there's a training required. There are certain people who are doing more work in less time, and they're the best practices have to go. They are the people who are able to understand the better ways of doing things. We also looked at productivity of organizations from their asset point of view. How are the assets deployed? If you are going to hire new people, do you now need more laptops, desktops? Do you have adequate how the current being used? If you have bought licenses for certain costly software, do you really need them? Are they being utilized? Would you need X number of licenses? Those angles also we brought into Prohance. And the recent focus for us has been on taking it to the next level of actually doing your work through this platform. That means, can your job allocation, your job tracking, your job prioritization be handled through this? So if there is a job coming in, and jobs can come through various angles. It can come through your emails, it can come through your Excels, it can be your some other external tool, they could be manually added. Can they be uploaded here? Put certain prioritization rules saying if this activity belongs to a high worth customer, let it be prioritized. Skill-based routing can be done, and then track where you are on that. So these are the new angles we are coming in, taking it Prohance to the other level of software development work, where you have a lot of project management tools like Jira, Azure DevOps. But those only give you the plan. They tell you what is your plan. But how the plan is getting executed, which direction this is going, that information is very rarely available. And most of it are manual inputs from people which are really not trustworthy to give you the true picture. How can that information be automatically obtained while end users or people are working on this system? Can that information automatically be read, analyzed, and fed back so that you know where you truly are? Where are the action points you need to take? Which areas are going well or which areas need attention? So here what we'll do is we'll try to give you a demo of the live so that you can see for yourself what sort of reports and dashboards are available, and it will introduce you to all these modules which we talked about. How can these insights be available to you directly from? So what we are going to show you is actually Prohance for our team. That means it is the Prohance team. We use it for ourselves, and everybody's information is available to everyone. My information can be seen even by a trainee who's joined in an organization, and we know exactly, brings in a culture of transparency, but there are also ways and means available in a product. If you are trying to do something personal, you want to protect that. So can you go into a personal or a professional mode? Can you suspend it when you don't want? What information you want to showcase, you can show that, and certain rules can be put there. So the technology behind Prohance is that there is a client and a server architecture. The client is installed on an end user system where he's going to work. What we are showing here is the client installed on Anshu. So he's he's head of our marketing division. So there's a Prohance on his system. He's showing that there's a Prohance client installed here. And after the first time installation, nothing more has to be done to get information. As you are working from behind the scenes, the information is being periodically seen by the client and sent to the server. So there are two parts to it, the client, and then on the server side is where all the analytics reside. There's a database repository. People can log in, and based on your roles and responsibilities, you start getting to see the information which is allowed to see for you. For example, if I am a managing project A and B, I would see only those projects information, whereas somebody handling project C would see only that information. And based on the rules, also the level of information that can be shown is also controlled.
This is the dashboard that we have for the manager side, the reporting side. Or the data gets captured on the client side at a user level. The reporting is made available to the managers, management. There's a complete hierarchy we can define in the system. Now, this is live data for our use. This is deployed on 83 of our Prohance team members, and this is coming live from their system as of now. So I can see, like, for the current month, what have been the people who logged in, what have been the average logged hours for these people for the entire current month. I can go back and see this data for the past duration as well. The good part is I can actually see within the logged hours what is the time people actually end up spending in the productive zone. So, like the pie chart you see on the left, that is the time people spend working on the core area, depending on their function. So for example, I'm in marketing. For me, Facebook and LinkedIn are productive. Someone in support, it might not. The definition of productivity is set at a team level, and that's where when you see it at the top, you see the overall productivity of your team. Then you also capture the applications people are spending time on. The graph on the right, over there you see how much time the teams are spending as a percentage on each application they're working on. So we are spending the maximum time on Teams, which is kind of in sync with how we are structured these days. We end up spending majority of our time on in collaboration with our colleagues. But after that, you see Outlook, Excel, Prohance. That's how we're spending our time. So the use case really is for people in operations. The expectation really is they should be spending maximum time on their operating systems. They have CRMs, their workflow systems. But eventually, when we see this data for our clients as well, we see this is the reality these days. Employees, associates spending maximum time on collaboration, Excel, instead of their workflow tools or WFM tools. That is an eye opener when we first deploy in some of our clients. And that is where, when you have to do RPA, which is the best team to start an RPA with? Is it a team which is spending maximum time on your workflow, or a team which is spending more time on Excel and on, that's the kind of insights you also get apart from your productivity. We also capture the time spent away from systems. So the pie chart on the right now, that gives you a breakup of how much time the teams are spending aggregate outside the system. So like maximum time people are spending on lunch break, then customer calls, meetings, and from there on. This is the only input which a person has to declare manually. Everything else is automated. So I log in, I log out, I work on different applications. All that is automatically captured. No input is required from the user. So hardly, 2 to 3 minutes in a day is what a person would end up spending. Inputting his data in hands whenever they're away from the system. That's it. Nothing else.
So idea of capturing this input of what you do away from system was very important, because a lot of productive work, actual work, gets done away from system also. And we want to ensure we capture all that information so that the true picture of the work done on the system and away from the system gets represented.
Like this report, for example, this is a real-time report. Like as of now, what's happening in our teams. If I just go to, let's say, the first view, I can see that 38 people out of 88 are currently active, irrespective of where they're working from. There are people in the US, Philippines, the two of us are here today, there are people in India across multiple cities. So 38 people are currently active. Some are idle, some have not logged into the day, all that I can see in this point in time. I can see the refresh rate of 30 seconds per minute. And then how much time these people have spent till this point in time in the day. That is over here. So 66 people logged in today, 75% of 88. They were supposed to put 336 productive hours today, and they have done 67% of that till this point in time. That's the power analytics you get in real time. The teams could be working from anywhere. And then, when that was a more like a real time report, this one which is coming up right now, this shows me the view of how has been the engagement or utilization across a larger duration. So the current one, if I see, we see that if someone is working for more than 8 hours in a day, they should be tagged as overwork. In less than 7, it should be tagged 6, it should be tagged as underutilized. So my teams in Prohance, they are equally distributed. Some are underutilized, some are overutilized, some are in the healthy region. As a leader, I would want maximum of my teams in the healthy region. That healthy region could be defined. It could be 5 to 7, could be 6 to 8, could be 8 to 10, depending on how your team is structured. I would want them to be maximum in the healthy region. The people in the orange overwork, they might get right because they overwork. Someone in the low region, we want to see what's the reason. Is it a skill bill issue? Is it a demand supply issue? I can go back and look into that, but I need to have the data for that. That's what Prohance does. And the same data is available at a team level. If I drill down, I can see at an individual level. I can keep on doing a drill down until the last level of detail. That is the associate. And again, so like I said, currently the two of us are in here today. I can see, where the teams are working from, in a real time. I'll just open up this map. So we have, like I said, we have people working across the world, and you see some people are in India. 2 of us are here in KL, 2 in US. Actually, 1 in KL and 1 in the Philippines. So Rajesh currently is in KL. You can see. I have a colleague, Veronica. She's in Philippines. 2 of our people are currently active in the US. And if I do a drill down, I can just keep on doing a zoom in until I can go to a city and I can actually do this one.
This has been automatically picked up without really knowing. So once he logged in, I logged in here. Our client knew that we moved to a different location. And for some companies, it was very important to know who's working from where. Due to some compliance issues, they did not want their asset to be moved from one country outside. So are they still there or not? So that's where this really helped. This sort of report helped them of knowing who's really currently at the moment where. So this is the other part. Now we came out to the time angle and came to the work output. How do you now marry the information about the time which you have collected and what is the real work or output being delivered by you? So you can now actually integrate this with a third-party system or input the system. What are the number of transactions or number of work counts people are doing? So if there's a team doing maybe loan processing, invoice raising, tickets closure, this information can be put in there, and then you can start correlating that with time. That where is the time being spent more? Which are the people who need training? Which are the people who need to really have more effort put in? So this helps you in a way come up with strategies for different type of people. How do you deal with them and bring them to a level where the entire team start performing at a level which you want them to be able to? And over a period of time, we learned this data is being used in various Six Sigma analysis, lean transformation. We found in various organizations the raw data was being taken and then analysis was being done by organizations like KPMG and McKinsey. So we took all that knowledge back from them and built into the tool so that automatically those analyses can be done by the tool itself. So you can get to see the distribution analysis, the work zone, how much within the zone people are working. So it's assumed that if you are more focused on your work for a period of time, your productivity levels go up. So are people working aligned to those zones or not? What would be the competency level analysis? If you want to compare teams working in location A, maybe you have a team in KL versus team in Philippines. How are they working compared to each other? Are they both working at the same level? Those sort of analytical analysis which you want to do, those are automatically done by the tool and shown to you, which help you now do your other analysis, which otherwise would take you years to collect the information and analyze.
This is one more interesting report that we have. So studies typically say that I should, as an individual, if I spend maximum time in the duration of 30 to 90 minutes in a single sprint, I'm most productive. If I'm distracted in a duration less than 15 minutes, that I'm not productive enough. Or if I spend more than 90 minutes, even that is not very good. So we can identify where your team's lying. Are they putting in the right amount of concentration in the right duration, or are they like deviating too frequently or working too hard? So that is available on the switches people are making. The application they're using very complex algorithm in the backend, but available in a very simple to understand.
What I would say is the knowledge or the effort does not lie in collecting the information. Collection of the information is pretty simple. How can it be analyzed and presented to you in an actionable format so that you can now go and take well-informed decisions? That's where we try and differentiate ourselves, try and give you more and more knowledge and analysis inbuilt in the product right to you. So that when you look at the reports, you know what has to be done.
So I think Rajesh will talk of the article open for questions.
Yeah. So we just wanted to give you a little bit flavor of what the tool is about so that you could see what information comes from it. Any questions if you have, you can ask now. Anyway, we are available here to we'll be really happy to discuss more.